Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. So I want to have a chat with you about the American dream, the American consumer, and why I don't like either political party. This is sort of a complicated discussion, but I just want to share some honest thoughts with you guys. And as you know, I'm going back to the USA this next week. It's a long story, but let me just jump right in and we'll get into this. So read this headline here. They left South Korea for the American dream. Now their children are moving back. If you don't know, I'm Vietnamese, but I do live in Busan, Korea. It's a great city. I make vlogs about it. You can watch those as well. But the basic gist of it is that you had people in the past immigrating from Asia to the USA, but now there's a generation of Asian Americans that want to go back to Asia, and their parents want to as well. And I can just tell you, I'm here. I'll tell you the basic gist of it is that no one's going to shoot you. We're not worried about that here, whereas the USA, it's very different. You're worried about personal safety. Healthcare costs are way more affordable. Also, too, food is better. I'm just telling you the truth. And the other one is, this is very real. We call, like, say, the bamboo ceiling, but the basic idea is that there's racism in USA, and it's a real problem. So you put all these things together, and it's just more desirable to live in Asia. And I know for many people that seems really strange because, you know, when you grow up in USA, they try to tell you it's the best place in the world and the only place to live. But I'm just telling you, there's a lot of places out there that you can go if you want to, go to another country. Now, I talk about this because I saw this, and it just seems like for many people are struggling. The American dream seems to be sort of moving further and further away. You can read the headline here. More than a third of American homes struggle to make ends meet, census says. So they're saying here 38.5% of households face difficulty. And essentially what they do, they have to use credit cards to cover their daily expenses. And you can see right here, that has been going up, the sort of amount of people who are struggling. So you're hovering around 38% is what it is. It depends which state you're in, right? So difficulty paying for usual household expenses. And then I think it was like 10 states where people, it was like over 40% of the people that live there are struggling. So it's like California, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, and West Virginia. Those are the states that have the people that's like over 40% of the people are struggling. And then people who aren't struggling would be like in Minnesota, Vermont, or Maine. It's kind of interesting. So it's more the southern border states. You can see it for yourself. I'm just making stuff up. And this is a real problem and sort of kind of why I think we have the culture that we do in the USA, which I'll get into in a moment here. You can see here, more households are going to buy credit card debt, right? So credit card debt is going up. You guys can see here. The other one is as well, and I talked several times on this channel, interest rates are going up, right? So then that means more people are going to be under even more pressure. And they actually ran this story. You can see this here. Flash mob targets 7-Eleven in DC for the second time. They ran the story on Korean TV. My wife was in the other room, and she's like, "Hey, you got to come see the TV. Look at this craziness." And basically, you get like all these people. They run into a 7-Eleven, steal a bunch of stuff, and they run out. It's like this flash burglary mob thing. It's like so ridiculous. And I don't know, how you guys felt this, but for me, when I look at this, I'm just like, what the heck is going on over there? And I don't want to live there. It's so simple to me. I don't want to live there. I don't want to live around this stuff. I mean, it's ludicrous. And, moreover, Target released their earnings today, and this is the headlines. Target expects organized retail crime fueled losses to jump by $500 million this year. It's like, I think total, it's like over $1 billion of shrink, I think is what retail call it. But basically, a lot of retail stores are struggling with this. I was looking at this. It's like what Home Depot, Walmart, Best Buy, Walgreens, CVS. Essentially, what people do, it's organized crime. They run in, steal a bunch of expensive items that they can carry out, and then they'll sell it like on eBay or like a flea market, this kind of thing. And it's a real problem. And I can't stress it enough. I don't like either political party because, to state it really clearly, I think the Republicans are soft on guns, right? So meaning that, guns for everyone can have them no matter, who you are, go ahead and get a gun. And I think Democrats are soft on crime. So commit as many crimes as you want. That's okay. We're not going to punish you, right? So I made a very simple, version of it, but the end result is the same. Crime is not good in USA, and I have a low tolerance for these kind of things. So not cool in my opinion. And that's what's going on with Target. They're going to try to also say that they're worried about consumers going into the future. Now, I actually looked at Target's earnings. They actually went down. Now the sales were flat, but I think that's due to price increases. But I mean, I can see here like earnings are down roughly 5%, so they're making less money, and it is a thing. And and I get it. If you want to be, I can't emphasize enough. If you want to be popular on YouTube, pick a side. Pick, if you want to be on the left side, you do that. Pick a right side, you do that, and then you cheer on your team, and then people will say, "Oh my God, I agree with you. You're so awesome." I don't like either side. I just tell you the truth. Biden and McCarthy, they say, okay, we're not going to default. I was actually never worried about the U.S. default. I mean, I think it does become more concerning the longer the budget talks, stretch out. But I wasn't pretty concerned because they always wait till the last minute. Now, we'll see until they haven't made a deal yet, but it says like that they're probably going to do it. But we'll see. And the other thing I don't like is, probably these banker people won't face much of what do I call it, penalties. We saw this before in say like the 08, 09 stuff, or 07, 08, 09, I should say. But this is interesting headline. Heads of failed banks mostly blame social media, not themselves. It is what it is. And it's, you can make the case, and I do. I don't like this is more on the Republican side that they're soft on banks. I'm not thrilled about that. But you can make the case too. Democrats are soft on crime. So, this is a different type of crime than say the 7-Eleven stuff. But I don't like any of it. I think it's all related to U.S. culture. And again, I am equal opportunity when it comes to this thing. And it runs much deeper than just our laws itself. Our system, the problem in the USA, it's embedded in the culture of the problem. So like just, for example, this is headlines. Young Americans are dying at alarming rates, reversing years of progress. And I want to make this very clear. I'm not making any jokes whatsoever about this stuff. I think this is very serious stuff. And in fact, I'm writing in my book right now, addressing these issues. So I truly understand, what it's like to struggle as a kid. I really know. That's what I'm writing about, any number of things. And the kids these days have slightly different issues than what I had. But regardless, is if a kid's, crying for help, we should figure out a way to help kids. The problem is this is a real deep thing. So I read through the description of stuff, and I'll give you a basic gist of it. So the mom was worried that the kid was doing drugs. So they said there's marijuana in like his backpack. And then she put him on other drugs to like help him. It says right here, she agreed to put him on medication for his depression. And this is a problem. And Peter wasn't going to have different opinions on this, but I've never been for this kind of stuff myself. And then, he's worried that you got to put him on drugs because of ADHD, these kind of things. And this is where you get, obviously, this is a widespread problem in USA. And some should say, oh, Chris, no, you just don't understand. People, kids need these drugs, et cetera. And I've always been against this kind of stuff. I think culturally it's a widespread problem because you're dealing with multiple things. And ultimately the kid ended up hurting himself. I don't want to say the word, but you understand. And there's a picture of the kid. But it's a multiple of things. I think Americans are eating food that is injected with all sorts of hormones. This kind of stuff is not healthy. Even, for example, the mom was saying in the article, it's like, oh, we thought the kid was happy. We started putting him on the ADHD medicine, and then he started, having Sonic hamburgers with us. And it's like, everything was great. And it's just like the food that you put in your body matters, in my opinion, right? Also to the sort of stuff you consume. Like, for example, they're talking about, she wanted to get rid of his phone and stuff like that. But just the things that kids are doing all the time these days, and you can kind of see it on TikTok, that culture. Yes, I had MTV growing up as a kid, but I didn't have MTV in my hand. And it wasn't like only, 1 minute attention span kind of stuff. It's just, the culture is really, really different. And I wasn't, constantly giving drugs to deal with, my problems. And I just think it's an overriding issue, right? Food, plus the drugs in USA, be it either over the counter or be it not over the counter, like illegal. It doesn't matter. There's so much stuff that people are putting in their bodies that I think are not natural. That's the best way to put it. And it's a lot of it is about fueling the machine. If Sonic, McDonald's, or whatever, if they're making tons of money on consumers, or Coca-Cola makes a ton of money, and also do full disclosure, this is how it is. It's real. If you want to buy stock, that's fantastic. McDonald's, right? They're never going to go out of business, or Chipotle. I think Chipotle is better than McDonald's because it is more healthier. And we'll see if food goes about that way, but I'm sure people can do a deep dive on how much more healthier is Chipotle and McDonald's. It's a real problem. And you look at these charts here, the death rate of kids is going up. So it's transportation, a couple other things you guys know this. So people hurting themselves or hurting other people. Poisoning actually is going up. And also you do have COVID-19. And, you put all this stuff together, and it's sort of, I do YouTube every day, and I was a professor for years. So I work with young people all the time. That was my job, to be essentially, just be honest with you, just be a good role model and a good educator for kids. It's something I really deeply care about is young people. I do it every day. It was my job, and I really enjoyed it. And it's frustrating because these basically scammy people, and also put this is your meat giving guys, it's a complete scam. But look at this: make more money, get crap done faster, featuring AI, right? And give them $460. Like, this is so obvious. It's a scam. And the sad thing is that because you have so many young people out there that are in very vulnerable positions, they fall for this stuff. And it's not just Kevin; it's all over YouTube. It's everywhere, right? So this is like the stoic guy, want stoic financial freedom, give me $497, right? That's what it is. It's a scam. Want to be next? Only one spot left, right? They're always at the coupon discount, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Anyone who sells these scammy classes, you're a scammer. I do not like these people, and unfortunately, it's pervasive everywhere. And it's sad because there's a group of the population in the USA that's like, oh no, it's not those people aren't scammers. Those people are heroes. They're trying to help people. But what we really need to do is ban books. This is real. This is so Penguin Random House is suing the Florida schools for basically over book bans. And in my opinion, I'm not for book bans, and I wish kids would just read more books in general, opposed to all that TikTok stuff. It's frustrating. And sort of what I get it. If you don't like gay people, you want to ban all gay books. I get that. I'm not stupid. I understand what it is. But my opinion on this thing is sort of why I'm writing my book myself is like the reason why you want to have these kind of books, or any kind of book out there and stuff like this, is because you want to show to people that you're not alone. When I get myself a book out there, you'll see it's not like you have to be like me. It's just more like for people who need to hear the messages of that you're not alone. I think it's important. So, the kids these days, I was looking at this too, so you can read the headline. Facebook knows Instagram is toxic for teen girls, company documents show. So for a lot of female and male and female have different things. So for the guys, you turn on your YouTubes or Instagrams or whatever, and all these, guys are driving around in Lambos, and you're like, oh my God, I got to get the Lambo too. And you sign up for scamming classes. For female, the issue is like perfect image, being attractive, etc. And you turn Instagram as like everyone's thin and pretty. But these kind of things, as you guys know, a lot of it's like Photoshop. So it's a real problem when it's just a real problem when people can't look at a natural photo of themselves and they have to Photoshop everything. A lot of girls do this actually. Like they can't even look at their own photo. It's a real problem because they're constantly comparing themselves to other people. But then this goes back to the lifestyle choices of eating unhealthy. Now, moreover, I think these sort of stresses in society are to continue, and I've talked about this several times on the channel, because AI/robots are going to be replacing a lot of low-level jobs. That's just reality. Things that are repetitive tasks, these kind of things, it's going to be replaced. This is an example. So Sweet Greens, they're testing robots. Here's the headline: Sweet Green tests robots to be faster, more efficient sad desk salads. I don't know what they call it, sad. It's really funny. And they're calling it the Infinite Kitchen. And you guys can see here is basically you put a bunch of food in like these tubes, and then you push a button on the screen, and it just sort of fills the bowl for you. I think this is fantastic, actually. I think this is the future. And in fact, here in Busan in Korea, so if you actually look at this picture, I put that video in this and just on my last one, but we went, and I'm just working on my computer in a really cool cafe that we like to go to. Well, it's more of like we'll call it like a multi-food court kind of thing, but it's nice. But I want you to see here, if you can see in the picture, there is a iPad-y type screen at every single table. And this is actually really common these days. A lot of the tables in the restaurants that we go have put in screens, and so you just put in things that you want, and they bring it to right to you. And it's a different culture here. There's no tipping as well, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. It's just just put in the price, which I think is way more convenient. But I think this is going to eliminate jobs in some ways, and then create jobs in other ways. So that's why I always tell you guys all the time is, be prepared for the future and position yourself to have those skills. So yeah, I get into the kiosk business. That's going to be a thing. And to go back into why we live here, and again, I'm going back to USA this next week. I've been putting pictures recently because my sisters have been asking like kind of stuff that I eat, and I've been sharing pictures because it's hard to explain to people if you've never left the USA what food is like in other places. So just here in Korea, you guys can see food. This is what we eat. It's pretty healthy. This is the kind of stuff, and it's like this, and this is what we eat. This is stuff at restaurants. It's very, very different than the stuff you find in the USA, and like here, I love this stuff. It's great. It's salmon and pork, fantastic. And you go to USA, it's just like burger and fry. Everything's burger and fry. My wife always makes a joke that everywhere is burger, and it's not untrue. And we don't want to live there, and this is a real thing. Violence against Asian Americans has gone up by crazy amounts, and it's not just against Asian Americans. You could make the case against everybody. I just Googled right before making this video shooting, and you got 18 hours ago, 52 minutes ago, 19 hours ago, so basically every day. Every day. 3 people shot in New Mexico, then you have a shooting in Texas, and you have a shooting in Florida. Oh, and not even in Topeka, so that would be probably Kansas, right? So 4 different places already, and I'm sure I could dig in, and maybe there's a shooting in every single state, every single day or something like that. But this is, you add it all together, and it's just like, why would I want to live in this environment? I don't. And I don't think I'm saying anything crazy. I'm not making up stuff. I just don't want to be shot. I want to eat healthy food, and I want to live a happy life. And I try my best to sort of demonstrate that with you guys. And I know that our vlog videos don't get many views, but that's why I purposely put these out there, because there are other lifestyle choices to do. And I hope people can understand the message of this, and I understand for watching this long of a video, some people are like, you know what, I only want to watch the first 2 minutes, and after that I go watch something else because I like TikTok. Being mean, but it's frustrating. And try my best. So anyway, I just want to share these thoughts with you guys, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on any one of these things if you understand what I'm talking about. And if not, maybe this is just new stuff to you, and exposure to new ideas. So I personally feel the stuff that you put into your body affects your mood, your personality, all of these things, very much so. And I encourage you to, eat healthy, which I don't think is a crazy thing to say. And the same with exercise and these kind of things. And when you start with that, that's the fundamental core of having a healthy body. It helps you do other decisions that are good, be it your finances, be it your job, and these kind of things. So thanks again for watching, everyone. And I'll catch you next video.